Hey guys, I want to welcome you back to another episode of Pistons Talk Podcast post-game show. Hope you guys had a great Christmas, got to spend time with your family and loved ones, or whoever you did get to spend Christmas with. The Pistons had a couple of days off on the 26th on Friday. As you're listening to this post-game show, it's going to be on Saturday because this is a West Coast trip, but they play the Utah Jazz in Utah. We can kind of get into these quarter notes, and then I will open up this show to comments and questions after we do go over the box score for you guys that are tuning in with these post-game shows. So let's get into these quarter notes and just kind of talk about this game and what went wrong. So right off the bat, Jalen Duren was in foul trouble. He had 2 fouls in the first 3 minutes. Guarding Lauri Markkanen, and that's a very hard ask for Jalen Duren, I think. Not to say he's not capable, but Lauri Markkanen is a very difficult player to stay in front of, and he's a player that he's going to shoot threes, but he can put it on the floor. And those 2 fouls that JD got very early on in the first, one was Lauri putting on the floor, and another one was just battling for position for a rebound, and JD had to sit out. He was basically a non-factor in this game just because of the foul trouble. Asar Thompson early on in this first quarter was scoring at the rim, and I'm sure we're going to get into why he didn't play as much in this game. But in the first quarter, I thought he did okay. At times, Utah was just playing really good defense, and they were running the floor really hard. They were looking to push the pace in transition, and that's what they did. They had a very sustainable lead, I would say, in this first quarter until the bench unit came in with Jaden Ivey and Ron Holland and Isaiah Stewart. And the Pistons go on an 18-3 run, believe it or not, in a 3-minute time span, too. And they were able to get a 3-point lead from the Utah Jazz to end the first quarter 36-33. And Cade Cunningham, it looked like he was going to have probably one of his best career nights. This in the first quarter, he had 9 points, 8 assists, 4 rebounds. Going into the second quarter, Duren did come back in around the 8-minute mark. But I really felt like the rotations tonight, I think, is what lost them the game. Also, the free throw shooting, which we'll get into a little bit. But Utah surged back within 4. Cade didn't check in until the 7-minute mark. And I felt like when Cade came back in, just the flow of the game, I think, was going towards Utah. Utah, to me, I thought really just dictated the way this game was played from the second quarter all the way to the fourth quarter, especially in the third quarter. Keontae George had just a hell of a second quarter shooting the ball from 3. He had 20 points at halftime. I mean, he was just feeling it, and he's had a very good season for the Utah Jazz. I think a lot of people, when you say Utah, they immediately go to Lauri Markkanen, but Keontae George, that kid is really good. Would not surprise me if he does make an all-star team one of these days. But Pistons were fortunate to have a 1-point lead going into halftime, 68-67. Coming out of halftime, Jalen Duren got his 4th foul, and the Pistons committed 16 fouls in this third quarter. Now, it is very difficult to play a game when Utah is getting to the free throw line that much, and the amount of free throws they made, I believe they only missed 1 free throw in total tonight. They got to the free throw line 16 times in the third. And it was just a thing where JB tried to do this Danis Jenkins lineup out there, try to get more energy, a little bit more spark. It did happen to work a little bit. He hit a couple of big threes, and I really felt like the Pistons were very fortunate to only be down 8 when the third quarter did end, and it was 111 Utah to 103 Detroit. And going into the fourth, the Pistons did come back in this game. They were down 8 after the third quarter ended, and it just seemed like this game was 127-125 for like 3 minutes. The Pistons made 4 separate stops, and they just could not cash in on a basket. Karras makes a turnover. Keontae George scores it. Cade Cunningham, the very next possession, scores. We go back at it again. Cade Cunningham gets fouled. He has a chance to tie the game with 2 free throws. He does that, 129-129. Keontae George hits this floater in the lane. Perfect. He gives Utah a 2-point lead, 131-129. Got about 2 seconds to execute a play. They hand the ball off to Cade Cunningham. He tries to shoot a 3 to win this one, but didn't even hit rim, hit backboard. Pistons lose this one, 131-129. Now, we're going to get into the team stats because I'm going to show you guys what lost the Pistons this game. And I think you can try to blame, if you want to blame officiating, go for it. I'm not going to do that in this post-game show. Oops. Want to go to this one instead. Here we go. Team stats. So I think when we're looking at this team stats box score, the Pistons shot 52% from the field. Pretty good. Their best three-point shooting game of the season. They made 18 threes, believe it or not. They shot 49% from 3. The free throws are a problem. They've been a problem all year. They shot 65% from the free throw line, 15 out of 23. Utah, on the other hand, missed 1 free throw all night. They were 25 out of 26. So, the free throw discrepancy, I don't really think was as bad because the Pistons did get to the free throw line quite a bit in the fourth. So it kind of evened out throughout the game, but you cannot shoot 65% from the free throw line and expect to win. Utah made just as many threes as you did. They were 18 out of 38, but this was a game where you didn't cash in on your opportunities from the free throw line, and you turned the ball over 17 times against a rebuilding Utah Jazz team. They're not really looking to win too many games. They're still in kind of that rebuilding mode, but I mean, you can't shoot 65% from the free throw line, and free throws have been a problem all year with this team. I think the broadcast said they're one of the worst free throw shooting teams in the league, 27th or 28th collectively as a team. Like that has to improve. That has to get better. Like you cannot expect to win games shooting that poorly from the free throw line. And the amount of times they get to the free throw line, I believe they're top 5 in the league. They're either second or third in the league of getting to the line. Like you have to capitalize on those opportunities at the stripe. Like you can't expect to win a game when you're shooting anywhere from 65 to 70% as a team every night. I know you like to dominate the paint. This is a team that we know isn't the same three-point shooting team as last year. They shot the hell out of the ball tonight, so kudos to them for making the threes tonight. But overall, you're not going to have a game where you're making 18 threes night in and night out with the type of perimeter shooters that we do have on this team. But you kind of get into this box score. Collectively, Tobias Harris had 16 points in 27 minutes, shot 6 out of 13 from the field, 1 out of 5 from 3. Perfect from the free throw line, making all 3 of them. 7 rebounds, 4 assists, 1 steal. Duncan Robinson in 26 minutes had 14 points. He was 50% from the field, 5 out of 10, 50% from 3, making 4 threes out of 8 attempts. He also grabbed 4 rebounds in this one and added 1 block shot. Jalen Duren just was a non-factor all night just because of the foul trouble. He only played 22 minutes, 11 points in this one, 5 out of 7 from the field. 1 for 1 from the free throw line, 1 rebound, 4 turnovers. He just had a really tough night. Like if Jalen Duren doesn't get in the foul trouble, I do think this is a completely game entirely. And you kind of see his impact when he was on the bench and not playing. Cade Cunningham in this one had hell of a performance, probably one of his better games of the season. He had 29 points in this one, 10 out of 19 from the field, 3 out of 6 from 3, 6 out of 9 from the free throw line, 5 rebounds, 17 assists, only 4 turnovers in this one. It's obviously a big improvement from his last game where he had 9 turnovers. He had 2 steals and 2 blocks in this one as well. Asar Thompson, this is what I kind of want to get into. So he played 16 minutes in this one, 8 points. 3 out of 4 from the field, 2 out of 4 from the free throw line, 6 rebounds, 3 turnovers, 1 steal. Now, A lot of people speculated that the reason why Asar Thompson only played 16 minutes was because of his asthma, which don't know if his asthma was bothering him. He has said that he does have asthma. Could be the high altitude in Utah. Those are both factors. People also mentioned when watching the game tonight that he looks sick. I looked at him. I don't know if he was sick. I'm not a doctor, so I'm not going to give medical advice on a Pistons podcast. But I mean, those are some of the conversations that I saw across social media. You know, I think in any given night, you're probably playing him around 25 to 28 minutes a game, maybe more. I mean, he's your best perimeter defender. He was a minus 15, in the box score tonight. But I mean, I felt like even though he wasn't playing his best defensively tonight, I thought, playing him more than 16 minutes was a choice, but we don't know if he was sick or his asthma was bothering him. So I'll just kind of leave it at that. I'm not entirely sure. Isaiah Stewart in this one, he played 26 minutes, obviously extended role with Jalen Durham being out, cashed in 4 points, 2 out of 7 from the field, 4 rebounds, 3 block shots in this one. Ron Holland in 19 minutes finally came back at 11 points, 4 out of 6 from the field, grabbed 6 rebounds, 3 assists in this one, was a +8 on the bench tonight. Excuse me. Javonte Green at 20 minutes, 8 points, 3 out of 6 from the field, 2 out of 4 from 3, 2 rebounds, 1 assist, 3 steals. Another game where this guy just gets steal after steal. He still keeps his streak alive of having a steal in every game. Karis LeVert played 20 minutes in this one, had 11 points, 4 out of 6 from the field, 3 out of 5 from 3, 1 rebound, 4 assists, 3 turnovers. He was a +13 off the bench for the Pistons. Jaden Ivey again, 14 minutes, 11 points, 4 out of 5 from 3, 3 for 3 from 3-point land. So perfect, 100%. 4 assists, 1 turnover, 1 block. He was +6. Danis Jenkins in 9 minutes had 6 points, 2 assists, 1 turnover, and 3 steals. So that's the box score. I do want to get into just the comments and questions with you guys because I do see a couple of you just leaving your thoughts with tonight's game. But I'm going to take a quick break so I can kind of go through these comments. And then after I come back from this quick break, we will get into the rest of this post-game show. We'll be right back, you guys. Okay, you guys, we're back. This is the part of the podcast where it's an open forum and open up the show to any of you that want to leave a comment, a question, a overall thought with this Pistons versus Utah Jazz game tonight in Utah. So let's get into it. So one of the first comments of tonight's post-game show says, since the Pistons did not make their games available in Michigan without paying extra, screw them. I do not miss them. Pound sand. Okay, I want people to type it in the live chat because there's ways you can watch any basketball game for free. I'm not going to say it because there have been certain streaming sites that have been down. You can watch basketball, football games with certain sites. I want you guys in the live chat to help this subscriber out, help this Piston fan out, because you don't have to pay a cable package or pay a streaming service to watch games. You just don't. There's a lot of illegal streaming services out there. So if you guys could be real MVPs in the live chat and help PDM find streaming services that he can watch it without it being uh, a thing where he has to pay money. I mean, I don't think I've had a streaming service quite a bit to watch these basketball games, but hopefully the people in the live chat can help you out, PDM. Do have a comment about Ivy, and it says Ivy should have had more minutes. Dude was playing great offensively, and we need that. Rests were rough, but we need to handle the ball better. And again, turnovers were a problem. So a couple things I do want to get into with this comment. I agree, Ivy does need more minutes, but again, like how long is this minute restriction going to last with him? I'm not entirely sure. I don't know if it's a game criteria. I don't know if it's a medical checkup with the Pistons doctors where they have a program for him to play anywhere from 14 to 18 minutes a night. He only played 14 minutes a night, but you're right. He looked excellent in his time out there with the Pistons. He played a little bit with Cade. He was making his shots, getting to the rim, hitting his 3-point shots, hockey assist to Javonte Green tonight. Like, I thought Jaden Ivey, these past couple of games, he's been a very big positive and a bright spot for the Pistons. He's been trying better on his defensive assignments. I think he's been a plus in the defensive department since coming back from his arthroscopic surgery. But I don't know, man. I really don't know what's going on with his minute restriction. I don't know if it's just a game criteria he's got to hit with this medical staff, or it's just a coaching decision just to kind of ease him back into it. I know JB touched on it, that it's really tough for a player, missing 11 months of action and, giving him an extended minutes in a role. But when, you have a player like that in Jaden Ivey that's having a good game, I probably would have rolled him closer to 18 to 20 minutes tonight just because he was playing so well. I do agree with you in terms of the free throw, or not the free throws, but the turnovers, like 17 turnovers. It's going to be really hard to win a game, not only when you're turning the ball over like the Pistons were tonight, but also the free throws. I know you didn't mention that, but the turnovers have been a problem as of late as well. They haven't really done the best job of, handling the basketball and taking care of the basketball. And I think those are recipes where you can kind of shoot yourself in the foot, where if you're not taking care of the basketball, you're not making your free throws, and you're over fouling like they did in the third quarter. Now, granted, not every foul against them I thought was a good call by the officials. Those 16 calls against the Pistons, I would probably say at least a good 5 or 6 of them, they were just fouling. They weren't really playing defense, in my personal opinion. But just got to look ahead to the Clippers, who are also a team that isn't playing up to expectations. So I wouldn't go into Los Angeles thinking it's going to be an easy win. I mean, the Clippers have a lot of players that are veterans. They got James Harden. They have an older team that could definitely, give the Pistons some trouble. They are an older veteran team. Red Baron, it's really hard to comprehend why Asar wasn't on the floor down the stretch of that game tonight. Seemed like a tough night to juggle the right lineups, but not playing Asar was confusing. Again, we kind of touched on it. Like, it could have been an asthma, could have been the altitude, could have been just a rotation decision by JB. He wasn't really playing the best. I thought when he was taking the ball up the court, it was out of control. Just trying to get to the free throw line, trying to score in transition. Again, I don't know. No one asked him about like why SR only played 16 minutes, so I'm just going to assume it was the high altitude and possibly his asthma. We have another comment saying, I've been feeling like this all year. We're not a horrible free throw shooting team, but the misses are always at the critical moments. I mean, like, the numbers say they are a bad free throw shooting team. I was surprised when the broadcast said they were bottom of the league of making their free throws, because I know free throws have been an issue with this team down the stretch of games when they need to, whether padding a lead or getting back into a game. But I mean, shooting 65% in a game, that's rough. It's going to be really hard to win. And not to mention, like, Utah has kind of been like dark magic for the Pistons. Just playing there, I believe the broadcast said 8-38 all time playing in Utah. And that's dating back to the Joe Dumars, Isaiah Thomas days. So Utah has been a very hard place to play for the Detroit Pistons as a whole. Not giving them an excuse, but just kind of adding context. Like Utah is a very hard place in an arena to play. I know this is unrelated to the game, RVK, about Michael Porter Jr. I'll talk about that in a couple of minutes because I do have some thoughts on that. Um, Someone said I'd rather lose by 10 points playing Asar and Ivy more than this shit. Like I get it, man. It's a frustrating loss for sure. Um, Again, I don't know when the minute restriction is going to get lifted with JI. The SAR could have just been, dealing with asthma or the high altitude. Again, I really, really don't know um, what was going on with his minutes in terms of just only getting 16 tonight. But it'll be interesting to see if he plays more on Sunday against the Clippers. I think that'll answer a lot of our questions, whether it was the altitude or maybe he was possibly sick with his asthma. I did see a comment that I do want to address. Now, I don't know if you guys saw this earlier today. Evan Sedry made a post saying that the Pistons, the Bucks, and the Golden State Warriors had called about Michael Porter Jr. And it's not true. Flat out a lie. Brett Siegel from Clutch Points saw this report and said none of those teams have actually called Brooklyn about Michael Porter Jr. None of them have even had dialogue with Brooklyn about him. So to answer your question, RVK, that report from Evan Sedgwick just was made up. He's been a guy that does make up a lot of stuff on Twitter that pops on people's timelines and, other media companies here in Detroit. Like I saw my former employer post about it on their social media and citing Evan Sedgwick that the Pistons had called about Michael Porter Jr. It's just not true. So I know the Pistons will make trades at the deadline, and I'm assuming it's going to be addressing more 3-point shooting. But the Michael Porter Jr. stuff today was just not accurate. I'll probably touch on the podcast tomorrow about that because we will be doing a podcast on Saturday for you guys. Outside of these post-game podcasts, we like to do, longer weekend format content for you guys to give you a podcast on the weekends to listen to and enjoy, give you as much Pistons content as we possibly can. But I did want to address the Michael Porter Jr. stuff a little bit because it just wasn't accurate. But kind of getting back into this post-game show, I'm probably going to wrap up this one. I do have a little bit of work to do after I'm done talking with you guys. But I appreciate all you guys staying up, watching this post-game podcast. As always, tomorrow we'll be talking more Pistons, news of the week, all stuff like that. Appreciate you guys, tuning on in with these West Coast trips. I know they're very late at night. I appreciate each and every one of you guys that come in, during the regular times on the East Coast time. But these West Coast trips, like the fact that you guys are staying up at 1 a.m. watching me on a Saturday night, I really appreciate each and every one of you. But we will see you guys tomorrow and Sunday for the LA Clippers post-game show. Hope you guys have a great rest of your weekend. And as always, go Pistons. Peace.